Looking at the steering wheel as well as the cluster screen inside of the Cadillac Escalade. This is the newer 2025 Plus model, and I gotta say, the redesign is wild. Like that big wraparound screen with a smaller infotainment is incredible. Now, if you want to walk through on that smaller screen, you'll find it down in the description of this video. But let's dive in and I'll show you what you need to know. First thing is that the steering wheel inside of the ride is going to be heated, so you can toggle it on using the button there with a single level. It's going to be a power telescoping steering wheel too, so just down by the left side of the steering wheel column, you can go in, out, up, and down in order to find that perfect position for you. And then what you're going to do is adjust your driver's seat the way that you'd like it to be set up. From there, inside of our little baby screen here, if you go into your settings here, you've got massage chair seats, which are great, but you can also adjust out different parts of the seat. So different adjustment positions. Do you want to adjust out the upper, lower part, your seat bolsters, things like that? So you can easily adjust these out. I mean, so many different ways. Once you've got that set up, you can save it here, but you want to do a few more things. So adjust your steering wheel the way that you'd like to, adjust your side view mirrors the way that you'd like to. You're then going to tap set 1 or 2 in order for it to remember your own personal profile. So if somebody's played around with your settings, all you're going to do from there, just push and hold in order to reset it to your position. And then there are so many different buttons and stocks. Starting off along the left-hand side, you've got a series of other switches. So auto means that the vehicle is going to figure out if you're in 2 high, 4 high, or 4 low automatically. Where you want to use these, 2 high the majority of the time. So that's essentially going to be rear wheel drive. 4 high is going to be for slippery, snowy conditions. 4 low if you're going rock crawling, any sort of off-roading really, if you're doing any sort of heavy towing, pulling a boat out of water, etc. That's where you want to be in 4 low. And then from there, you've got your different mode buttons there too. So with your modes, those are going to be all of your available drive modes. So sport mode is a fantastic system. You want to be in sport mode the majority of the time if you want the best possible performance. But then touring mode gives you the best possible economy. And then you've got your own custom mode that you can set up there too. And then you can also raise or lower the vehicle height. The maximum vehicle height, you're going to have to be in the 4 low setting. So in order to get to 4 low, you just tap the button there. You'd have to shift yourself into neutral, and after a few seconds, you could then adjust your ride height easily from there. Up or down. It's nice. You've got your parking brake there, so electronics, you just button push in order to turn it on. You just have to hit the brake pedal, push again in order to turn it off. There's your integrated brake controller, so if you're pulling a trailer that has brakes, and then you can also adjust the brightness of the cluster screen this way. And then different buttons and stock. So let's go ahead with the stock along the left-hand side. So you could do a light push on the button on the tip of the left stick, and that's going to be for your windshield wiper, so it's just a quick wipe. If you do a push and hold, that's going to get that windshield wiper fluid going. And then you've obviously got your blinkers there. When you're out of park, you can hit the turn stalk going left or right, and that's going to show you what's going on inside of your blind spot. It is a feature that you have to have set up through the infotainment system, but it's pretty neat. And then you can also control your wiper speed. So you're going to use the one along the left-hand side to adjust your wiper speed there. One of the crazy levels off to the right side, that's going to be for your rear wiper. And then you can also push up down there in order to be able to get that rear wiper fluid going. There is also a rear camera washer too. Just push and hold there in order to get that wipe going. The stalk along the right-hand side is going to be for your shifter. So you just push in order to go into neutral, up for reverse, in and down for drive. And then there's a dedicated low gear. So when you're in drive, you then push down in order to drop into low. And then you could also use the paddle shifters at that point in order to adjust out what gear that you're in. If you've never used paddle shifters before, pretty easy to use, but you're essentially dropping down gears here in order to be able to rely on engine braking. Or if you needed to get a little bit of quick speed, drop down in order to shoot up your RPMs to pass somebody quicker. If you want to walk through on actually using paddle shifters, you'll find that down in the description of the video. To put yourself into park, button on the tip of the right stick in order to do it. And there's so many different buttons and stocks. So start off with the left-hand side here. These ones are going to be for cruise control, obviously with the exception of your heated steering wheel button. So what you're going to do is you can toggle the cruise control system on this way. And you can see there when you do, you've got a message there that lets you know that cruise control is turned on. You then set your speed by pushing down. You can increase or decrease 1 kilometer, 1 mile per hour at a time by pushing up or down this way. Push and hold up or push and hold down in order to increase or decrease at larger increments. From there, you can hit the brake to cancel your speed, you can hit the cancel button to cancel your speed, and then you push up to resume your previously set speed. But there are 3 different types of cruise. So there's normal, adaptive, and then super cruise, which is full hands-free driving. So if you take that cancel button, you push and hold it, you're going to get a message in the cluster screen. There we go. Regular cruise control is selected. So that's your old school cruise. You set it at 80, the car in front of you slows down. Yours won't slow down. So you just have to be paying attention. But if you push and hold again, we get into adaptive cruise control. And that's where this gap adjustment button comes into play. So it's how close or far are you away from the vehicle that's in front of you. So 3 unique levels. Think of that like a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi for how close or far you are away from that leading car. I'm personally okay on level 1. Most of the time you might want to be on 2 or 3, just depending on your own comfort level. And then there's Super Cruise, which is full hands-free driving, so it's just not available here. Now, you do have a steering wheel that's going to pop up on that side of the screen. So with the adaptive cruise control system turned on, you'll find a little white steering wheel pop up there and lets you know that Super Cruise is available. When it is, you tap the button there to turn it on. This part of the steering wheel might go green immediately, letting you know that Super Cruise is turned on, or it might go blue. Even when you're driving, it might switch from green to blue. So when it's going blue, that essentially means that Super Cruise is temporarily paused. So it's unavailable for whatever reason. You might get a message in the cluster screen letting you know that it's because the lane's ending, you're in an exit lane, whatever the case may be. But when it's available again, that's going to go green. And then it's full hands-free driving. So you can take your hands off the steering wheel, feet off the gas and the brake, and the car is going to do everything. Keep you in your lane. It's going to slow down, speed up as necessary based off of the speed that you have set, which you can adjust out while Super Cruise is going. On top of that, there's also the option for Super Cruise Lane Change Assist. So inside of the infotainment system, if you go into your settings and then vehicle, got your Super Cruise lane change. So where that comes into play is with the Super Cruise system enabled. So you've got 3 individual settings there. So it's either going to be off, turn signal activated, or automatic. So with off, you have to hit the turn stalk and then you just have to manually change lanes yourself. With the turn signal activated, with Super Cruise enabled, you hit the turn stalk to go left or right. The vehicle is going to check if there's anybody beside you, and then it's automatically going to move over for you. Automatic takes that to the next level. So with the Super Cruise system enabled, you don't even need to hit the turn stalk to go left or right. If you've got this setting turned on and the vehicle speed set, if the car in front of you is going too slow, the car will automatically put the turn signal on for you. It's going to change lanes for you automatically, pass that car, and then hit the turn signal to go back into that lane if there's space available. It is an absolutely brilliant system. I recommend getting used to it and using it all the time. But if you want a live demonstration actually seeing cruise control work in person, you'll find that down in the description of this video. And then you've got a series of other buttons here. So the ones along the right-hand side are going to be for adjusting out your presets. So if you've got presets that have been selected, you'd go up or down this way in order to jump between all of those stations. From there, you can answer or hang up on a phone call. You can push the bottom button in order to mute your audio. So you could adjust your audio up, down this way, mute out using this button. There's a voice command prompt. Change the fan speed to 3.
All right, changing the fan speed to 3.
So you can adjust climate using your voice. It is a very, very simple process to do. You can turn on your heated ventilated seats, steering wheel, and things like that. Adjust climate using your voice. You could navigate using your voice, change the radio station, and so many things. You could hit the button here to do it, or you could say, hey Google, and that's going to pull up your assistant that way. You've also got this button, which is going to be for all of your available sources. So you can go up or down in order to change between different sources that were available. Push in the middle, so that acts as an OK button. So if you ever get any messages in the cluster screen there, just push in order to say OK. And then this button, so if you're not on this screen, if you're just here, you could then push up or down in order to move between a few different types of gauge looks, which I'll touch on as we hop inside of that cluster screen. And one other thing I want to point out, specifically with the lights, if we go to our little baby screen here, you can tap either the lighting icon there or your controls. But if you're on this screen, go back a level. That's going to bring you into auto high beams and then your headlamp mode. Keep the auto high beams on all the time in the auto mode there too for your headlights. The reason why is because if the vehicle recognizes high beams are needed, turns them on automatically. If somebody's oncoming, it turns them off before turning them right back on again. At nighttime, you can push away in order to permanently lock those high beams out if you want to. But if you want your high beams permanently locked out all the time, you're going to go into the bottom headlamp mode, or the headlight mode there. From there, just push away to turn them on, pull towards you in order to turn them off. So it's simple enough to use. I do recommend keeping yourself in the auto mode the majority of the time. Then inside of the cluster screen, you've got the direction that you're currently facing, along with your current odometer, whether or not you've got the lane keeping system turned on, if you've got the cruise control system turned on off, current vehicle speed with your tachometer there, your current fuel level done a few different ways, what drive mode you're currently in, so 2-wheel, 4 high, 4 low, etc. What gear you're in, so park, reverse, neutral, drive. If you have the forward reverse park sensing system, which you will, how close you are to obstacles in front of you. On top of that, and then you've also got this, which is going to be for your audio. And then you saw earlier, you can go up or down this way. So you've got your gauge look, which looks nice, but you've got a Google Map view too. Hey Google, navigate to Tim Hortons. There we go. And start. Like that. Full mapping cluster inside of this ride. And then you'd also be able to see your turn-by-turn directions right inside of the head-up display. And then down the little screen here, so we take this baby screen, we tap this, you can adjust out individual elements of the head-up display. So you can toggle it off completely, so if you just don't want that head-up display anymore. But then you can also adjust the brightness. I always recommend maximum brightness. You can adjust the height and the rotation. So how high or low, so we come into focus there, does that head-up display sit? So if you tend to have if you have a tendency to sit one side or the other, you can rotate it, move it up or down as necessary from there. Then as we move between different modes, if you go back to your gauge view, you can see just your turn-by-turn directions there. Drop down into your driver assistance view, you've got that view, so you've got your lane markings there. So if the vehicle recognizes the lane markings, different systems are enabled, that'll go green. And then you've got two different modes. Night vision is available here. So night vision is not standard across the board inside of the ride, but as you drive around at night, if the vehicle recognizes that there are pedestrians or there are animals, things like that, it's actually going to give you a heads up, letting you know that there's something there. So essentially going to go yellow if it recognizes something, and then your AR camera is there too. So if you've got an active route going where you're coming to an upcoming turn, you're going to get arrows pointing which way you need to turn. I think the look of it as you drive is so neat. If you go to your settings and then system, you've got your measurement units there too. So do you want to be in either US or metric? So you can see it adjusting everything. So your vehicle speed, your total odometer, fuel levels, and things like that. There's your auto hold setting. So with the auto hold setting turned on, if you come down to a complete stop, you take your foot off the brake, the vehicle's not going to move. Auto start stop is the one that's potentially going to kill power to the engine if you're stopped for an extended period of time. You have to toggle that off again every time you hop back into the vehicle. So when you turn the vehicle off, it's going to turn the system back on automatically. And then there's a button push in order to turn your climate on or off if you'd like. So I know that is a lot of information, but that's everything you need to know about the steering wheel as well as the cluster screen inside of the Cadillac Escalade.